Hello friends, hope you all watched my first video on purchasing power parity. I am back with my second video which is also on a very important concept, the demographic dividend and the total fertility rate.
Demographics is the study of a population based on various factors such as age, race, gender, and other things. It naturally divides the population of a region into different age groups to interpret the data and make future predictions regarding the country's economic, social, and cultural impacts. Demographics are now being used in almost every known field, from advertising, research, manufacturing. Demographics are everywhere. However, today we will analyze the demographics of various countries from the viewpoint of economics. Moreover, the demographic breakup will be done on the basis of age. Before getting into analyzing different demographic graphs, let's talk about the total fertility rate or TFR. Total fertility rate is simply the total number of children born or likely to be born to a woman if she were to pass through the childbearing years. On an average, the TFR of the entire world stood at 1.41 in 2016. This is a big drop as the total fertility rate only 46 years ago was 4.45. If the total fertility rate keeps on decreasing at this rate, our population would soon start to shrink towards the end of the 21st century. We also have something known as the required total fertility rate, the value of which is 2.1. This means that theoretically, every woman on the planet needs to give birth to 2.1 children so that our population remains as it is and does not decrease or increase. Mostly all European countries, except for France, Ireland, and Turkey, have a total fertility rate lower than 2.1. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and even the United States are below the required value. This means that in the coming years, the population of these countries will experience a huge drop in their population. This will have a drastic and a negative impact on their economy as there wouldn't be sufficient number of people contributing towards the economy of the country. Therefore, countries like the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Singapore, and Japan, who have great economies right now, can suffer various setbacks in the years to come. By this logic, Africa, all countries of which have a total fertility rate of more than 2, reaching around 7 in some countries, will be the richest continent on earth in the next 100 years. Henceforth, the African countries should be the ones who will assume the position of the world superpower. Having a high total fertility rate can be expensive for a country in the short run, but it proves to be a boon for them in the long run. Therefore, high total fertility rates are a liability in the short run and an asset in the long run. The animation shows how the demographic of the United States has changed over the years, from 1950 to 2010. The graph from 1950 onward shows that the youth form the greater part of the bulk of the graph. The demographics of the country from 1960 to 1970 take an excellent shape, in which once again the bulk is formed around the youth category. From 1980 onwards, the country has prospered a lot, and this can be seen in the demographics too, which show that the majority of the population is now in its working age. Looking at the 2010 demographics graph of the country, we can see that the population trend of the youth has somewhat declined. It should have been more, as every 20 to 30 years in the American history, the youth category has formed the majority of the population. This happened in the 1950s, 1970s, and should have also happened around 2010. However, for 2010, the youth are somewhat less in number than expected. Still, the United States demographic graph is not that bad. However, it is not the best either. For Germany, the same thing can be said. Having excellent demographics in 1950, the country is not doing so well now. The 2013 graph shows how the major German population is just about to retire and that there are exceedingly less number of people in the age bracket of 15 to 25 years who will have to run the economy in the years to come. This points out at the troubled waters for the future economy of Germany, as it would be a challenge for the small number of youth to run the country efficiently. Japan seems to be worst affected by this issue, along with other European countries. The demographic graph of Japan proves the fact that with exceedingly low number of people in the youth and a major part of the population about to retire, the country is bound to face serious economic issues in the years to come. Rightly said over here, the demographics of Japan change shape from that of a tree to a kite. Coming to India, its demographic graph promises it a very bright future. The graph takes the shape of a dome with the greater part of the population concentrated around the age group of 15 to 30 years. Contrary to the other graphs evaluated, India has less people in the retired category than in the youth category. This means that in the next 20 years, the country will have a lot more people driving its economy and the country should experience a great boost in its growth. The study of demographics is highly important as it allows us to predict the economic future of any country simply by looking at the breakdown of the different age groups. For the conclusion, the demographics of any country should be dome-shaped with the majority of the part forming a bulk around the youth age category. Such a graph signals at a bright economic future for the country. This is all for my video. I hope all of you enjoyed it. I'll soon be back with my next video. Thank you.